Do indeed. Coast FM 963, you're on Raw Youth Disability Radio. Angus Hammer with you as always. And I say always, but it's actually for the last time in 2025, Monday the 22nd of December. And it is our last show of the year. What a year it has been. It's been a pleasure being with you every single week, talking all things disability, whether it be with individuals, organisations, events, and amazing people that work on the show, who we like to call the ROARsome team. Tonight is our traditional end-of-year ROARspective, where we look back on some of our personal highlights and ROARsome scenes that happened throughout the year that was 2025. Later on, we're going to be joined live in the studio by my right-hand man himself, James O'Brien, as well as the incredibly talented Vanessa Mbeve, to talk all about some of their highlights of the year, including Vanessa's creation of our first ever radio play. Stephen Wheatley and Finn Smith O'Brien are also going to be joining us to talk about a few of their highlights from the year that was 2025. 2015. I went back in time right there. But we're starting off right now, being joined live in the studio by Mr. Brandon Macmillan.
Hello.
Nice to have you in here on a beautiful Monday evening, nice and early. You're going to be having a chat with a old face, but a new face at the same time, because Jake Mercer's back on the team, and you guys are going to be having a chat about something.
Yes, because he works in the kitchen, and he also lives with anxiety, and I like to ask him what's it like, working in that environment, and what's some tips he can give to those with disabilities like anxiety, who want to get into that field.
Definitely, and especially at this time of year, it can be very stressful, both in and out of the kitchen, so it would be very interesting to hear all about his experiences. While we get Jake and yourself ready to go in the studio for that chat, though, I've gone around to all of the ROARsome team and got a song request from each of you. That one right there, Paul Kelly, How to Make Gravy. Gravy Day was yesterday, the 21st of December, goes out to Stephen Wheatley. But what song have you picked for tonight's playlist?
I'll go give it to our boys, Static, with their most recent song, Coming Home.
That's right, and home for them is Newcastle, so...
you don't pick your home.
Yeah, that's true. We don't pick theirs, that's for sure. But last night, actually, on the Sunday session, they won the award, voted on Instagram poll for the Raw Featured Artist of the Year.
Which I voted for him as well, by the way.
There you go. And your vote may have made all the difference. And this song right here is an absolute banger from a band featured on the show a few times, which is...
Coming Home by Static.
Youth Disability Radio.
Coast FM 963, you're on Raw Youth Disability Radio. Brandon Macmillan here, and joining me in the studio is none other than Jake Mercer. Jake, welcome back, buddy.
Is that the Brando, the famous Brando from Raw Youth Disability Radio?
That is right.
I'm so starstruck. Oh my God.
Anyways, let's not get too sidetracked. So, Jake,
yeah, mate,
we had you on the show before to talk about anxiety and a variety of other topics, but I was wondering, because to those that don't know, you work in a kitchen.
Yes, I do, yeah.
And kitchens are known to be a pretty stressful environment. Would you agree?
Yes, yeah, I would agree that working in a kitchen is quite a stressful environment, but it's also fun, so that's good.
Fun. That's like you're the first person who works in the kitchen to tell me that it can also be fun.
Yeah, I'm sure if we had James on, he'd be singing a different song. But it can be very stressful because you got to get things out like really super quick, and it certainly is stressful, but within, just me doing stuff with my hands, I'm very happy.
And it's also like a team effort, right?
Yeah, well, since I'm a dishie, I'm mostly working by myself, but when the chefs have free time, they do come in, help me out, and I help them out with some things like going out and delivering food to wherever it needs to go. So yeah, there's like parts where I do it by myself, there's parts where it's a team effort. It's awesome.
Yeah, I imagine that'd be the fun part, being able to communicate with your fellow workers ideas and, kind of help each other out.
Oh,
when
yeah, the
need be.
banter. Yeah, absolutely. Like the work that I do itself is very monotonous, but it's like the people that I work with that make it so much more interesting.
And it definitely helps with the anxiety, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, just, having a bit of a joke, having a bit of a laugh, just like, eases the stress, calms the anxiety. It's fantastic.
Yeah, so to those that listening that do have anxiety, what are tips you can give them if they're starting out in like kind of a similar job position like you in a kitchen where it can be stressful in a very busy, hours and stuff like that?
That's a good question. What I do to, like, for me personally, I just focus on like what's in front of me. Like, as long as I can get like that one task done, then I can do everything else. Another thing that I do that probably drives my coworkers a little loopy.
Okay, yeah.
Is I sing songs. I just sing songs. I try to keep the volume down, so as to not bother anyone else. But I mean, like that's what helps calm me down. Also, just like talking like in general, anxiety is just like breathing exercises, and something that I'll always encourage is if you have anxiety and you feel that it's a little too much.
Yeah.
Go seek professional help. The professionals who will teach you like breathing exercises, all kinds of things that can help you calm the anxiety down, which you can then use in work.
Yeah, and being focused on one task at a time is also a really good one too. I go by that one as well.
Absolutely. It's like, I've done this, all right, now I can do this. But then sometimes, someone will like be like, hey, Jake, like, can you do this?
Like last minute, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Which like... I was like, okay, I'll go do this thing now. Which kind of throws my previous advice out the window. But like, as long as you get the work done and you just focus on it, you'll be fine.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. So unfortunately, that's all the time we have left. But before I pass the mic back on to Angus Hamill, do you have any last words, Jake?
Angus, I'm still coming for your job, my guy. It's like, I understand I got some competition with Steven, but like, I'm coming for you, man. Just kidding. Love you, babes.
And Jake, would you do the honors of doing the Raw?
You're on Raw Youth Disability Radio. Back to you, Angus.
This is Raw with Angus Hamill.
Oh, come on, Jake. You got to stop coming for me like that, man. I'm getting sick and tired of it. Well, who knows? Maybe you'll become the host one day. You got a really solid Raw on you. I reckon if I do end up retiring the Raw, maybe you are my successor. But I believe Stephen Wheatley might have to, fight you for that position. Maybe that's something we'll cover in a future episode sometime next year. But yeah, Jake Mercer, Brandon Macmillan right there, having a chat about Jake's experiences working in a kitchen and how he deals with stress and anxiety. I really hope his advice that he gave throughout that chat was useful for you. Now, it's time for us to take a quick break. Coming up, we're going to be joined live in the studio by a couple more members of the Rawsome team. Stephen Wheatley and Finn Smith O'Brien are going to be going over a couple of their highlights from being on this show throughout 2025. In the meantime, we have a playlist tonight put together by the Rawsome team themselves. Every song on here has been picked by one of the Rawsome team members. Coming up, we are going to be hearing a tune picked by Jake Mercer, a bit of South Arcade.
This is Raw Disability Radio with Angus Hamill. Coast FM 963.
Coast FM 963. You're on Raw Youth Disability Radio, and tonight is our last episode of 2025. But to look back on some of the highlights from the year that was 2025, joining us live in the studio right now, we have firstly Mr. Steve Wheatley. How are you going today, Stefan?
Looking back on things, Steve never says. Yeah, no, I'm doing good, mate.
Also with us is Finn Smith O'Brien. How are you going, Finjamin?
Going great, thanks. Thanks, mate. Thanks for having us.
Hey, no worries. Thanks so much for coming in here nice and early before Roar and More to join us. Now, 2025 was a pretty action-packed year for us as a collective. I'll start with you, Steve. What are a couple of your highlights being involved with Roar in 2025?
Ooh, mate, looking back on the last 12 months, yeah, you're right. It's been a bit of an interesting year. We've had everything from you, me, at the Haven for the launch of the first ever home game of the Terrigal Trojans All Abilities team, to having legendary 2000 Paralympic goalball player Troy King on the show. Like the saying goes, mate, it's been a bit of a mixed bag of treats.
Certainly, and you've been a bit of a superstar in the sporting world yourself, Steve.
Aww.
Not only playing All Abilities rugby and travelling all around the state doing so, but also representing the state in goalball, and we got you to kind of report on your experiences there as well. You also talked about playing All Abilities soccer. Like, you were really our resident sports reporter throughout this year.
I guess I kind of was, and I must say, going into the start of this year, I really didn't think I was going to probably hit many of achievements as I did, but my highlight of what this year was doing the presenters course with Finn and James O'Brien, so both the O'Briens. And the reason why that is my highlight is because it's me progressing with my career in doing this.
Yeah, for sure. And I got to say, you've become quite well known by not only people here at Coast FM, but I'm sure the listeners as well, for your charisma and humour when it comes to being on air. Since completing the presenters course at the start of the year, you two have been a fixture on Roar and More, and I'm sure you will do so in 2026 as well. But speaking of personal achievements related to Coast FM, Finn, 2025 has been a massive year for you. Firstly, on Raw itself, you got the chance to organise and conduct a couple of your own interviews. Who did you chat to, and what stuck out there for you?
So this year, I've chatted to, firstly, with Agnes of Shrevengers, and she was brilliant. She was a great first interview. She really promoted autism, having a sister on the spectrum herself. She really promoted it well. After that was Lockie, who actually works with the Australian Police Force finding cyber criminals, and he really demonstrated the strengths of the spectrum as well. And then last but not least, there was Fantasy A, who is a Seattle-based rapper on the spectrum, and we also spoke with the directors of his short film, which was in the Central Coast Film Festival, which was brilliant. Yeah, so it's surreal. It's been a lot.
Yeah, I was pretty proud, I got to say, seeing you in action, sourcing these guests and stories and conducting these interviews and editing them all by yourself. But even prouder was our man Finn here is a TV star. You starred on season 2 of the ABC's Assembly, which was just an incredible experience. We've talked about that quite a lot as a personal highlight of yours, but we can now reveal some pretty incredible news. Not only has the Assembly been renewed for a 3rd season, but Finn, what can you tell us about that 3rd season?
I made the cut. Yeah, made season 3. So yeah, it was pretty mind-boggling and pretty astounding.
Yeah, 100%. Like, that's such an exciting thing to have happen. And hey, I didn't make the cut, so you've beat me. You're going to be on TV more than myself, which is pretty... Your face is going to be out there more than anyone at Coast FM by the looks of things, which is going to be a really exciting thing happening in 2026.
So wait till 2027, he'll be hosting Spicks and Specs.
Yeah. So that's coming up for Finn in 2026. Steve Wheatley, what's coming up for you in 2026?
So for me in 2026, mate, obviously I'm going to be still here doing the amazing Raw and More with yourself and the other boys. And, well, hopefully might have some more international guests coming up this year. And obviously, yeah, we might even have quite a few more athletes and other celebrities on the show. I guess I'm probably looking forward to stepping out on my own, I guess, sort of to be. Believe it or not, mate, a lot of the inspiration I get through wanting to do more and just be better with a lot of the stuff I do here at the station, I actually get it from the man staring at me across the desk right now.
Awesome.
Oh, that's really nice of you to say about Finn, Steve, 100%. Well, guys, it's been a really awesome 2025 with you guys being a part of the Rawsome team with myself. We've done a lot together, and here's to doing even more in 2026. Finn Smith O'Brien, Stephen Wheatley, thanks so much for joining us tonight on our ROARspective.
No worries, mate. 2026, bring it on.
Let's do it.
that was good. No, that was good. That was a good way to end it. That was a good way to end it. No, that was good.
Yeah, that was a classic quote there, as always, from Finn Smith O'Brien and Stephen Wheatley joining us in the studio right there to chat about some of their favourite moments and highlights from the year that was 2025. Not just on Raw, but outside of the show as well. Steve obviously representing New South Wales again at the National Goalball Championships, and Finn being a part of the cast of the Assembly Season 2 and officially revealing right there as well that he is going to be a cast member on Season 3 coming early 2026 as well, which is a super duper proud moment for all of us here on Raw Youth Disability Radio and Coast FM 963 as well. Now, coming up, we are going to be joined by a couple more super duper important Rawsome team members. My right-hand man, the co-producer of the show, James O'Brien, as well as the insanely talented Vanessa Mbeve, are going to be chatting about their highlights of 2025, including, of course, Vanessa writing our first ever original radio play, Everlasting, the Tess Valley Diaries. In the meantime, though, while we get them ready to go in the studio, we have a playlist put together by the Rawsome team themselves. We have a tune right here chosen by Finn Smith O'Brien, the American singer Joe, with his viral hit. It's called End of Beginning.
And when I'm back in Chicago, I feel it. Another version of me. I was in it. Oh, I wasted right till the end of beginning.
Coast FM's Raw Youth Disability Radio.
Coast FM 963, you're on Raw Youth Disability Radio, and tonight is our last episode of 2025, and it is our traditional ROARspective of the year, where I'm going to be joined by the entire Rawsome team to give our favourite bits and highlights of the year that was. Joining me in the studio right now is my right-hand man, firstly, Mr. James O'Brien. How are you going today, James?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, Angus. How are you going?
Very well, thank you. And Vanessa Mbeve is here too. How are you going, Vanessa?
I'm going good. Happy to be here. How are you?
Oh, I'm glad you're happy to be here. I'm very well, thank you. A pleasure to have you guys both with us. Now, you both contributed massively to Raw throughout 2025. I'll start with you, Jamesy. This is your first full year of being the co-producer of the show. You made it. You survived.
True.
What's it been like for you working on this show throughout this year?
I'd say no different compared to last year. It's just got a bit more responsibility just to make sure everyone's right on track, then also give a helping hand when needed, which at this point I don't think Steve or Finn really needs me at the moment. So I've practically got out of my comfort zone a bit more and started to interview a lot more. And in another show, Raw and More, I just even started to make my own segments and my own jingles and just made it work.
I love that. And yeah, you spoke about Raw and More, the after show. This was also the year that you ended up passing the Coast FM presenters course. What's it been like for you now that you're an actual presenter here?
It feels a bit different. It feels like I'm going into a different world, but who knows, maybe I might have my own show at some point.
Well, you already have your own segment that you came up with yourself, the trending tune of the week, which has been very well received. Now, also, Vanessa Mbeve is here. Now, listeners might know Vanessa as the creator and writer behind Raw's first ever radio play, Everlasting, the Tess Valley Diaries. How did you come up with this play?
I was at home and I was watching TV shows. I've always been a big fan of TV dramas. I was like, why not create a show?
Why not create a show that you got the chance to have air as part of Raw for quite a while at the start of season 5, which was really awesome to hear. And even more so because the character in question, Tess Valley, she was quite a nice bit of disability representation. Was that the main goal of the series, to get a disability character out there?
Yes, and I also wanted to make it relatable in terms of her daily life, not what she was born with, because I know that having a disability is a big factor in most people's lives. It's my way of saying, even if a disability can live this amazing and exciting life.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. We have some kind of bittersweet news to share for you, Vanessa. This is actually the last time you'll be on Raw. You're leaving our team, and where are you off to?
Yeah.
I'm off to Sydney. I've chosen to start to open a new chapter in my life where I experience new things and just learn more about myself as a person. Of course, I would always have my little family
Aww.
to come back to and to invite over. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and the door's always open for you here at Coast FM too if you want to come up from Sydney and visit us anytime. And one last exciting thing, Everlasting the Test Valley Diaries obviously went on hold, but Vanessa, you've been working hard behind the scenes, and at the start of 2026, you're leaving us with a bit of a going away present. There are 2 final chapters to this story that are going to be airing on Raw, isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right. I think it's a sweet way to wrap up what has been an incredible chapter in my life, the Raw family, and with Telling Everlasting. And I just hope that everyone enjoys it, because I had the most amazing time working with James. It wouldn't be possible without him and the support of the Raw team.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, Jamesy is the star of the show, being the narrator and voicing the characters as well. Jamesy, now that Everlasting's coming to an end, what's been your favourite part about being on this?
I guess it's just trying new things, really. And I do got to thank Vanessa for taking the time to write and also to tell me when to take a breath while doing characters. Because sometimes, like, I read a script and I just go and then without taking a breath. But I do get told sometimes that I'd be good at narrating, and I mean, that's something I might look into doing more in 2026 as well.
That's for sure. Well, it's been an awesome project that you've both worked on together. Can't wait to see what happens next for all of us in 2026. But to both of you right now, James O'Brien, Vanessa Mbebe, thanks so much for being a part of Raw in 2025, and thanks so much for coming on our ROARspective tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
And on behalf of the Raw team, good morning, good afternoon, and see you later, folks.
Absolutely. See you later, Vanessa. Vanessa Mbebe and James O'Brien joining us on our ROARspective episode this evening with some really bittersweet news. Yes, Vanessa is officially going to be leaving the Raw team at the start of 2026 because she is moving to Sydney to pursue her dream career working as a freelance writer and also in the fashion business as well. Vanessa, we have loved having you be a part of the Rawsome team, and especially your talents reaching out to people for interviews and, of course, creating and writing our first original radio play, Everlasting the Test Valley Diaries. Like we said, 2 more episodes are going to be produced of that show to finish off the narrative, and they will be airing in January 2026, with James returning, of course, as the narrator. Now, it's time for us to take a quick break. Coming up, we're going to be hearing David Harvey's featured song of the week. But first, we have a playlist on the show tonight, all put together by songs that the Rawsome team wanted to hear. We've got a pick from James O'Brien coming up right after this. Coast FM 963, you're on Raw Youth Disability Radio. That right there was Oasis with their smash hit Wonderwall, chosen by David Harvey as his featured song of the week because Noel Gallagher lives with dyslexia, and also their tour was one of the biggest things to happen in the world of music this year. And that brings us to the end of Raw for this evening. I do hope you've enjoyed tonight's ROARspective of 2025, and thanks you to everyone who listened in and also contributed to Raw Youth Disability Radio throughout the last 12 months. It's been an incredible year for us once again, and it is my pleasure to be able to be with you every Monday night. Raw will return on Monday the 12th of January 2026. Raw and More is coming up after the 7 o'clock news with a special end of year celebration. But first, let's play our theme song to finish things off for 2025 here on Raw. Katy Perry, and I'll see you next year for more Roar!